Hey buddy, welcome back to another video, and here's a question for you. Have you ever gotten stuck with one of your opinions? You say it and then it doesn't hit, and you get caught in the trap of not having a good opinion or having to defend an opinion you don't actually like? That's what we're talking about today. For those of you who don't know, I'm Liam, and I'm on this self-improvement journey just like the rest of you as a Christian young man in this kind of crazy world. And today we're talking about finding you in a world of opinions. For me, this is very true. I've spent a lot of time trying to find myself in my opinions that may or may not be mine. But let's dive into it. Now, back when I was learning about all of this fitness journey, all of these crazy things that I didn't know about and was just kind of getting used to, I started diving deep into the topic of physical fitness. And for me, it was a brand new world. And when starting in that whole new world, I was swaying like a willow back and forth on any opinion that I heard, because I was pretty new to this stuff. And as I've learned and as I've grown, I've kind of started to sway less and kind of find my spot in what I believe about physical fitness and the way you go about it. So my first topic is learn and don't just assume. Back when I started, I was swaying this way, and then from one week I'd be on this side, and this other week I'd be on another side, and I just needed to figure out where I was. So before you assume an opinion, learn about it. Learn about the entirety of it. Don't pick one side. And that was big for me. So now I can say and stay in one place and say, this is what I believe, and I believe for this, this, and this. And that is the goal for having an opinion. It's your opinion, not the world's opinion, not somebody else's opinion. Let it be your opinion. But it can't just only be your opinion. And that leads me to number two. Number two, which is let God lead the way. Now, back when I was starting to learn and really kind of dive deep into theology and getting a foothold on what do I believe, there were times where I was fighting against others. I was fighting against whatever because I wanted to hold what I believed. And that's not always correct. Again, let's go back to principle number one. I needed to learn before I assumed. I assumed something without learning about it. And so in my pursuit of where I was going with my theology, I had to stop, stand back, and say, hold on, where do I fit in this? Where am I getting my reasoning from? From what texts? And from whence? Oh, I'm an English guy. And from where am I pulling my information? So I went deep. I went looking. I went clawing. I went finding. I went into the world and I went into the Word, and I looked for where am I getting my beliefs. And fair enough, I couldn't find it. And I actually found the real truth in the Word. And it's crazy how that works. You find the truth in the truth. And this is one of the main lessons I learned, was the fact that I shouldn't be fighting against God. I may be wrestling with God to find that truth in the Word, or for Him to reveal that truth unto me, but I shouldn't be wrestling against. The world poses this idea of wrestling against and pushing away God. God, I don't need you. I'm better than you. But you have to remember that God's the one that knows what He wants for you. And God's the one that actually really knows what you want deep down inside, even though it's hard to believe. And so I would just allow God, let me be steered, let me be reared to your path, because your path is actually the best path. Your path, I'm going to find the best in me and the best life I can live in, not my path, but your path. And I've kind of had to step back and say, whoa. I know I want what I want, but what does God want for me? Because that's what I actually really want. And that is going to lead us into number three. Just because you have an opinion doesn't mean it has to be extreme. Now, in a world and a sea of extremists, it's the man in the middle that looks insane. There's somebody out here and somebody way over there, and there's somebody way up there. I don't know where he's going, but he's up there, and I'm just gonna let him be up there. But sticking right in the middle, everybody hates you because you're with nobody, which is why most people try and choose to say, I'm gonna sit on this side because then I'm safe with the group, I'm with the flock. But none of these opinions are good because they're all worldly. Where's the word? I want to be wordly, not worldly. And sitting in the middle can be scary because you might be the only one. But I say this mostly because a lot of the time our opinions can get extreme.
You only can eat no carbs, or yes carbs, only carbs, no fats, or what are you doing working out? No, don't ever work out. It's not needed.
Or
why aren't you working out 7 days a week? You are not going hard enough. What is wrong with you?
Again, these are just all over the place. What am I supposed to go? I'm turning back, I'm swaying back and forth. I don't know which way to go. But when you just look at all of this stuff and say, well, I can't, that's not right. Not carbs only. God made all of these things, right? Oh, fats are good. It's just as good as carbs, right? Well, I know that I should be doing some training, but I don't need to be doing that much training, right? You're pulling back and forth, and all of them are going, man, what is he doing? What is he doing? I'm right. It's gotta be me. And so you look insane. But really, you're kind of just picking the best of both worlds. You're resting enough to actually recuperate and regenerate that muscle in order to build actual muscle instead of doing 7 days a week. But you're not lazing around, right? You get to eat everything. I get to eat carbs and fats and proteins. I don't have to pick and choose and push stuff away, and I can't eat that. I get to be the most free by having this kind of middle ground opinion. Now, sometimes there is extreme opinions that are needed to be held because they're held in the truth, and it seems extreme to the rest of the world. But most of the times, you kind of just have to be humble, look at what you see around you, analyze what's actually going on around you, and then go from there. Number 4 is the fact that understanding yourself is not going to be a one-step process, but instead it's going to be a journey. And it's going to be a journey for everybody. Everybody wants it to be a one-step process because that's easy. But you're a very complicated person. And for you to think, oh, I could just figure it out one step at a time, that's going to be a little bit crazy. One of the things about it being a journey is you will be wrong. Guaranteed. 100%. I can guarantee you. 100% of the time, you will be wrong at least once. And that's hard for people. You have to stand back and say, whoops, I made a mistake. But, I mean, that doesn't change how good or bad I am. It's just, I'm not perfect. And you being wrong is not what defines you. But it's how willing and able are you ready to adapt and recorrect. That's what defines you. When you're wrong and you get caught in the act of being wrong, even though you're always going to be wrong at least some of the time, if not all the time, you have to be okay to say, whoops, that's my bad, and recorrect and say, you guys are right, or this is how I think it's actually supposed to go, and keep going. And this will help you actually grow. This is actual growth. Realizing you failed and recorrecting, becoming better afterwards, that's literally the definition of growth. And so as you look out in this world and you see all these crazy opinions, I hope that you can just take this for granted, the fact that God's got you. God knows where he wants you to go. He knows exactly what you need to be doing. And as long as you're humble enough and willing and able to be ready to change towards that plan and path for you, you will be happy. You will be able to create the you in a world of crazy opinions. And so I think that's about where I'm going to wrap it today. I hope you enjoyed. That really was probably one of the best videos I've made so far. It's quite simple, and I'm excited to see where you guys go. For me, this has been one of the most important things about my journey and has seen the most growth in my life. And so with that, it's been a pleasure, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.